Before wealth touches your hands, it first passes through your words. Before gold rests in your account, it must be minted in the vault of your speech. There is no force of commerce greater than a sanctified tongue, no marketing strategy more powerful than a mouth aligned with the laws of heaven. Your tongue is a divine architect. Every syllable you release is a blueprint, summoning materials from the unseen to build the visible. Your mouth is heaven's first printing press for wealth, etching decree into the fabric of reality. It is the first investor in your life, placing capital in the form of vibration into the markets of destiny. The world may teach that wealth begins with labor, strategy, or opportunity, but I tell you now, wealth is first a vibration. It is a living current, set in motion not by hours of toil, but by the frequency your speech carries into the field of creation. When you speak lack, you sign a contract with scarcity. When you speak increase, you enter a covenant with abundance. Every phrase you utter is a seed, and the soil of the universe does not discriminate. It will grow what you plant, whether it be the thorn of poverty or the harvest of plenty. Your subconscious listens to your words as law. It does not argue, it does not question, it takes every declaration as a command, and organizes your steps to fulfill it. You have spoken your way into every financial season you have lived, not in one day, but over many, each casual sentence stacking like bricks until a structure rose around you. Perhaps you have walked through houses built of complaint, corridors made of self-doubt, doorways framed by the refrain "I can't," yet the same mouth that built those walls can tear them down and raise palaces instead. Understand this truth. Careless words are not harmless. They are living agreements. They are invisible contracts you sign with either lack or supply. When you say, "I never get ahead," the contract is written. When you say, "Money slips through my fingers," the contract is signed. But when you say, "All channels of supply are open to me," heaven seals it with approval and begins the transfer. Your tongue is not meant to be rented by fear. It is meant to be owned by truth. It was not given to you merely to describe conditions. It was given to you to command them. Today, we begin the holy retraining of your mouth. We will cleanse it of phrases that have chained your provision. We will replace them with decrees that summon overflow. We will reprogram the rhythm of your speech until every word becomes a magnet for supply. See your words as keys. Some open vaults, others slam them shut. Every sentence you speak about your finances is either unlocking wealth or locking it away. The time has come to choose your key. From this moment, you will no longer speak of lack as if it were law. You will no longer give voice to limitation as if it were truth. You will become fluent in the language of increase, and as the language changes, so will the landscape of your life. Imagine your mouth as the conductor of a divine orchestra. Each declaration you make is a movement in the symphony of your provision. When your speech is out of tune, the music of wealth cannot play in your life, but when your words strike the note of truth, the entire field of creation rises to perform in perfect harmony. This is not positive thinking. This is spiritual law. The law of the tongue declares that what you speak with conviction must be established. The power of the word has been entrusted to you as the very image of the Creator, whose first act was to speak light into darkness. That same creative fire is in your mouth now. So hear me clearly. This journey will require discipline. It will require listening to your own voice as if every sentence were being recorded in heaven's archive, because it is. It will require refusing to prophesy defeat, no matter how loud appearances shout in your ear. In the next moments, I will show you how to dismantle the language of poverty and replace it with the speech of kings. I will teach you how to guard your mouth as the first gate of wealth. You will learn to hold your words until they are worthy of release. And when they are released, they will not wander aimlessly. They will go forth as messengers to bring your provision home. The retraining begins now. The tongue that once agreed with lack will now be the instrument of abundance. The mouth that once spoke as a servant will now speak as a sovereign. Every word from this day forward will be seeds sown into the garden of unlimited supply, and soon, you will walk in the harvest your own voice has grown. Some of the most dangerous sentences you will ever speak are the ones you barely notice leaving your lips. They sound ordinary, they sound logical, but in the unseen realm, they are the slow poison that chokes your supply. They are the invisible locks on the gate of your abundance. Today, I will show you the 3 silent saboteurs that cut off the flow before it even begins, and I will hand you the keys to open the gates again. The first is the phrase, "I can't afford it." You think you are speaking about your wallet, but in spirit, you are speaking about your worth. This is not financial vocabulary. It is a declaration of limitation. When you say it, you slam the gate of divine supply with your own hand. You tell the universe, stop, I live in scarcity, I choose to stay here. Your vibration collapses. Your subconscious records a permanent note, we do not have enough. And once that belief is written, your life becomes the evidence of it. In Florence Scovel Shinn's language, this is a curse disguised as common sense. The law of the tongue makes no exceptions. Whatever you decree is delivered, so replace it. Instantly, say, if this is mine by divine right, it will come to me with ease and perfect timing. This keeps the channel open. This tells your spirit and the unseen world, I am ready to receive, even if I cannot see the way yet. The second saboteur is the phrase, that's too expensive. It feels harmless, like a personal opinion, but it is a spiritual self-disqualification. You are not judging the price. You are judging yourself as unworthy of increase. Each time you say it, you lower the ceiling of your own life. You whisper to heaven, I am not worthy of more, and the law fulfills your request. Instead, speak as one who knows their inheritance. Say, if this is for me, it is already paid for by divine substance. This removes the ceiling. This allows the vibration of worthiness to replace the vibration of disqualification. It is not about the object. It is about your identity as a child of unlimited supply. The third saboteur hides in the phrase, money is tight. It sounds like you are simply describing your current condition. But the moment you say it, you shift your allegiance from God to numbers. You declare that money, not infinite supply, is the source of your life. This is spiritual misalignment. It cuts the flow because you have bowed to the appearance instead of the truth. Replace it with, money flows freely and multiplies wherever I speak blessing. When you say this, you lift your eyes from the ledger to the source. You declare that provision is not determined by the size of the account, but by the size of the God you serve. The river runs wide again. Picture it in your mind. Every forbidden phrase is a heavy iron gate. When you speak them, the hinges screech. Shut, the river behind them stills. The air grows heavy. But when you speak truth in place of the lie, the locks fall open. The gates swing wide. The river surges forward, gold, opportunity, and favor rushing toward you like they were always meant to. Oh, these phrases are not small slips of the tongue. They are covenants with lack. Every time you speak them, you renew that covenant, but you can break it today. The law that allows the mouth to curse is the same law that allows the mouth to create. The same gate that closed can open. The same river that dried up can overflow. From this moment on, you will not only silence these saboteurs, you will retrain your mouth to become the builder of your wealth. ChatGPT said, the mirror has never been just glass. It is the silent witness of every name you have ever called yourself. It has seen the tears you tried to hide. It has heard the unspoken doubts in your breath. And it has been the gatekeeper of your self-agreement, the altar where your identity is crowned or caged. You may have spoken affirmations before, but if the eyes staring back at you did not believe them, they drifted away like smoke with no fire. The mirror does not lie. It will only reflect what you have agreed to within. That is why the most powerful declarations are not shouted to the sky first. They are spoken here in the place where you meet yourself. When you stand before the mirror, you are standing before a throne. You are not pleading. You are receiving a royal decree. Your posture must tell the truth before your words even leave your lips. Feet planted, spine lifted, shoulders open, as though the very weight of heaven's abundance rests upon them. Look yourself directly in the eyes, not to inspect, not to judge, but to connect. To speak to the eternal self that cannot be shaken by a bill, a market, or a season. Now, here is the ritual. 3 declarations, 3 unshakable agreements. Each one must be spoken slowly enough for the reflection to answer back. First, say, you are not a beggar, you are a builder of worlds. As you speak, see the old self, the one who scraped for leftovers, the one who measured worth by shortage begin to crack like glass under heat. See those shards fall away, revealing the architect within. Second, say, your face is the face God finances. Let it sink in until the muscles in your face believe it. Feel the shift as you realize this is not about luck, effort, or begging for approval. It is divine partnership. The source has already decided you are worth the investment. Third, say, supply flows to you because you have agreed. You are sealing the covenant here. This is not blind hope. It is alignment. It is the moment the river hears its own name and begins to rush toward you. As you do this, imagine your reflections stepping forward, not the timid shadow of who you used to be, but the luminous, grounded, untouchable self, who has always been waiting for your agreement. This is the self who knows wealth is not a prize to chase, but a birthright to embody. The mirror is not magic by itself. It is a gate, and gates require keys. The key is your agreement. When your mouth and your eyes speak the same truth, the spiritual law responds without delay. From this day forward, let the mirror be your morning altar. Before you greet the world, greet the one who will walk into it. Before you take action, take dominion. This daily witness will rewire your identity faster than any list, ledger, or plan. But there is one more truth you must know. The mirror will lock in your identity, but to keep it unshakable, you must learn the law that replaces every shadow with light, the law of substitution. Because once you can replace every thought of lack with a thought of supply, no force on earth will be able to move you from your throne. Two opposing vibrations cannot occupy the same space. One must give way, and in the realm of the spirit, the stronger word, the higher frequency, always takes dominion. This is the law of substitution. It is the sacred practice of replacing what is false with what is eternally true, before the lie can take root in your reality. Every day, thoughts of lack drift toward your mind like shadows at dusk. They are not the voice of your soul but the echo of a world trained to believe in limits. Yet the moment you allow them to linger, they begin to weave themselves into your speech, and once they leave your lips, they are not just thoughts, they are seeds, contracts, and blueprints shaping the next chapter of your financial life. Hesitation is the gap in which fear gains power. It is in that delay that the lie hardens into language, and once spoken, it calls forth its own fulfillment. The master of supply trains not just their mouth but their reflex. They learn to substitute faster than fear can speak. The law of substitution is not denial, it is dominion. You do not pretend. The thought of not enough never came. You simply refuse to let it reign. You take it by the throat and replace it with the truth until only the truth remains. When the shadow says, there isn't enough for the bills this month, you answer instantly, my supply is infinite and my obligations are already met by divine channels now in motion. See it in your mind, the dark smoke of worry dissolving in a burst of golden light, the light spilling into every corner of your finances. When fear whispers, what if the client doesn't pay? You substitute, God is the source of my income, not man. All that is owed to me is released in perfect timing and full measure. The moment the new thought takes its place, feel the vibration in your chest shift from tension to trust. When the old belief shouts, I will never get ahead, you calmly declare, I move in divine rhythm. Nothing good is withheld from me. My progress is inevitable. See yourself stepping forward. The path ahead lit as though heaven itself has laid out your way. Every substitution is a turning of the inner compass. It is the refusal to navigate by the map of fear. And here is the spiritual technology. The more you practice, the faster it becomes. At first, you may catch yourself minutes later, substituting after the worry has spoken. Soon it will be seconds. Then, before the thought fully forms, the truth will rise in your spirit and answer for you. Let us train this reflex now. Speak these substitutions aloud, quickly, firmly, without hesitation. Fear says, money is running out. Truth answers, divine substance is my endless supply. It cannot run dry. Fear says, I can't handle this debt. Truth answers, the Christ within dissolves all burdens and frees me to receive my inheritance. Fear says, opportunities are scarce. Truth answers, my life is rich with divine appointments that cannot be missed. Fear says, this business is too risky. Truth answers, I walk in divine strategy, and every step is supported by heaven's economy. Fear says, I'm not qualified. Truth answers, I am equipped, appointed, and financed by the source of all wisdom. Do you feel the shift? This is more than positive thinking. This is the deliberate displacement of one vibration with another. This is the training of the inner temple so that your outer world aligns. Visualization will anchor it deeper. Close your eyes and picture every lack thought as a wisp of dark smoke drifting toward you. See yourself holding a torch of golden light. The moment the smoke touches the light, it disappears, replaced by brilliance so strong it illuminates everything in its reach: your home, your work, your accounts, your future. Let that light speak for you before fear can. Practice this throughout the day, in the grocery store line, before opening a bill, while walking into a meeting. Do not wait until the mind is calm. Train it in the heat of battle. The speed at which you substitute will determine the speed at which your life transforms. The tongue is the final architect, but the mind is the drafting table. If you guard the thought, you guard the word. If you guard the word, you guard the world you are building. The law of substitution ensures that the foundation of that world is truth, not temporary appearance. Remember this, the higher word wins. Always, lack can only survive where it is given agreement. Truth requires only your voice to make it law. And every time you choose the substitution, you are not only breaking the contract with fear, you are signing a new covenant with supply. Hold this law close, because it is the bridge to the next great revelation. If the mouth has the power to curse and the mind can be trained to replace the curse with truth, then the highest model of this mastery is found not in theory, but in the living example of the Christ mind, the one who never spoke from shortage, only from the fullness of supply. When the Christ spoke, lack had no place to answer. Every word carried the vibration of completion. He never described shortage, never rehearsed the impossibility. He blessed, he commanded, he released supply into form as if it had always been waiting. Think of the day the crowd sat on the hillside. Thousands of faces turned toward him, hungry and expectant. The disciples whispered their report. There were only 5 loaves and 2 fishes. It was the language of limitation, the announcement of not enough. But he did not repeat it. He did not say, "We cannot feed them." Instead, he took what was there, lifted his eyes, blessed it, and gave thanks as though it were already multiplied. In that blessing, the vibration shifted. The loaves and fishes moved from scarcity into the field of infinite supply, and the people ate until they were filled. This is the Christ mind, seeing the seed as the harvest, speaking to it as complete. Then, there was the wedding in Cana. The wine had run out. In the world's logic, the celebration should have ended. But his mother's faith called forth his authority. He did not lament the lack. He did not speak of shortage. He told the servants to fill the jars with water. Then he spoke the blessing of transformation, and the water became wine of the highest quality. Here again, he demonstrated the law of substitution in perfect form, replacing the thought of absence with the declaration of abundance. And nature itself obeyed. And perhaps the most staggering moment at the tomb of Lazarus. Days had passed. The mourners had accepted the finality of death. The air was thick with grief, and voices kept repeating the reality of loss. Yet the Christ did not echo the sorrow. He lifted his eyes and said, "Father, I thank you that you have heard me." He thanked before the miracle. He called Lazarus by name, and life answered the command. The dead man came forth, still wrapped in grave clothes. A testimony that the word spoken from divine authority can call forth what the world has buried. In every one of these moments, he bypassed the language of fear. He did not argue with the lack. He displaced it instantly with the word of supply. He understood the invisible law. What you agree with, you multiply. He chose to agree only with heaven's storehouse. And here is the truth that must settle into your spirit. The same mind that was in him is in you. The same authority is in your mouth when it is aligned with truth. He said, "Greater works shall you do." This was not poetry. It was a transfer of mantle. If his words could multiply bread, yours can multiply provision. If his voice could call forth life, yours can call forth opportunities, resources, and divine connections. Your mouth is not just a tool for describing reality. It is a vessel for creating it. When you speak from the Christ mind, you are not begging heaven to move. You are releasing the decree that heaven has already established. Stand with me in this moment and declare, "My words are vessels of divine supply. I bless what I have and it multiplies in my hands. I do not speak of lack. I speak from completion. My voice carries the authority of the Christ within." Let these words rise from your spirit, not just your lips. See yourself at the hillside with the bread in your hands, blessing it until it overflows. See yourself at the empty jars, speaking the transformation. See yourself at the tombs of your own dreams, calling them by name, watching them rise. This is not a distant history, it is a living law. The Christ mind is not an unreachable state, it is the silent gate of destiny within you, opening the moment you choose agreement with abundance over agreement with lack. And so we move into a living challenge for the next 7 days. Let your mouth be the mouth of the Christ mind. Refuse to echo the report of shortage. Replace it instantly with the decree of supply. Bless what is in your hand. Give thanks for what is on its way. Command life to enter every area that appears still or dry. For when your speech aligns with his model, you will discover that miracles are not accidents. They are the inevitable result of words spoken from the place of authority, where God and you are in unbroken agreement. There is a law you must now accept without compromise. Speak as one walking with God, or do not speak about money at all. Every sentence about provision must be a gate that opens, never a door that shuts. You are about to retrain your mouth to be a sanctuary of supply. For the next 7 days, you will speak only from abundance, only from divine agreement, and only from the mind that knows God is the source. This is not a game of empty affirmations. It is a sacred discipline. Words spoken with faith are seeds. Words spoken with fear are weeds. For 7 days, you will sow only the seeds you want to harvest, and you will sow them deliberately. Here is your 7-day spoken supply challenge. Each day, you will declare the following 7 statements aloud. They are original to you now, living decrees meant to rewrite the very atmosphere around you. Day 1 declaration. The supply of God is flowing into my life now, and I am open to receive it fully. Day 2 declaration. Every need I have is already met in divine mind, and I walk in that truth today. Day 3 declaration. Money is my servant, and it arrives in perfect timing and perfect amounts. Day for declaration. I bless all I have, and it multiplies with ease and joy. Day 5 declaration. Opportunities, resources, and favor are drawn to me like rivers to the sea. Day 6 declaration. I speak only words of abundance, and abundance answers my call. Day 7 declaration. I am in covenant with the source of infinite wealth, and that covenant cannot be broken. These are not to be spoken casually. They must be spoken as one reading a royal decree before a nation. Your voice must carry the certainty that these words are already law in the unseen. When to speak them, you will anchor these declarations at 4 key moments each day. First morning, before you pick up your phone, before you let the day's noise touch your mind, stand tall, breathe deep, and speak each declaration. Let them set the vibration of your day like tuning an instrument before the music begins. Second, before transactions, whether you are paying a bill, buying a coffee, or signing a contract, speak them in your spirit or under your breath. You are not just exchanging currency, you are circulating supply. Every exchange is a declaration that you have more than enough. Third, when fear arises, fear will come, but it will not rule. The moment you feel the tightening in your chest or the whisper of not enough, you will interrupt it with these declarations. This is the law of substitution in motion, replacing lack with truth before it takes root. Fourth, before sleep, end your day the way you began it. Speak them with gratitude, seeing the truth of your words. Weaving through the night, let your subconscious carry them into the fertile soil of your dreams. Tracking the change, over these 7 days, you will notice shifts. At first, it may feel mechanical, like learning a new language, but soon your posture will change, your shoulders back, your eyes lifted, your feelings about money will soften. From tension to trust, your expectation will rise like the tide, and opportunities will begin to approach you rather than you chasing them. Picture each day as placing another brick in the temple of your financial destiny. By the 7th day, you will not just have a habit, you will have a structure that houses wealth consciousness. You will have built an altar in your own mouth, a place from which only abundance can be spoken. This challenge is not simply about 7 days of discipline. It is about proving to yourself that you can live in unbroken agreement with supply. The more you walk in it, the more natural it becomes. Your declarations will no longer feel like practice, they will feel like breathing. Remember, your words do not just describe reality, they summon it, they give it shape and substance, and for 7 days, you will summon only the reality you wish to live in. Now, as we move forward, we step into a deeper truth that speaking wealth is not only a habit to be trained, but a prophecy to be fulfilled. What leaves your lips is not just sound, it is law, and when you speak as one who has been given dominion, the whole field of your life will begin to obey. Every declaration you speak is not simply a sound, it is a seed. Some seeds grow quickly, some take their time, but all are guaranteed a harvest when sown in faith and guarded with consistency. This challenge is not only about money, it is about authority. It is about remembering that your tongue was never meant to be a tool of despair but a scepter of dominion. As you hold to this practice, you will feel the shift not only in your finances but in your posture toward life itself. By the end of 7 days, you may notice doors opening, unexpected provision arriving, or long-delayed opportunities finally surfacing. But even if the outer has not yet caught up, the inner will be unshakable, and once the inner is unshakable, the outer has no choice but to align. On day 8, You will not return to casual speech. You will step into prophetic speech. You will speak not just as one practicing, but as one decreeing. You will no longer be rehearsing supply. You will be establishing it. So hold the line, keep the rhythm. Let the words leave your lips as if heaven itself is listening, because it is. And when heaven hears, heaven answers. Now we move into the next dimension, where speaking wealth is no longer a challenge or a ritual, but a sacred law written into the very structure of your destiny. There comes a point when words cease to be mere declarations. They become decrees. The tongue steps into its royal function, and the one speaking is no longer simply affirming, they are legislating reality. This is the place of prophecy. Prophecy is not a prediction. It is not a hopeful wish flung into the air. Prophecy is the speaking of a spiritual fact into form. It is the language of the unseen, shaping the scene. It is the voice of divine law, clothed in your breath. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that every word you speak is a boomerang, returning to you exactly what you have sent out. But when you speak prophetically, the boomerang is no longer random. It is sharpened, aimed, and unstoppable. It does not wander. It strikes the exact place you have sent it, and it brings back the substance you have called for. The purpose of the financial prophecy ritual is to seal your wealth in the invisible before the day begins, before you answer a message, before you greet a single person, before you speak to the outer world, you speak to the inner kingdom. This is how you begin. When you rise, stand in a place of stillness. You may face a mirror, allowing your own eyes to witness the agreement, or you may stand in the center of the room, palms open, as if receiving the weight of a crown. Straighten your spine, breathe deeply until your body is an unshakable pillar. Now, speak financial truth before any other word passes your lips. Speak with rhythm, speak with command. Speak with the authority of one who knows they are not begging the heavens, they are moving them. Let these words roll like thunder. I legislate wealth into my life this day. I call forth every provision already written with my name. My storehouses overflow, and my cup runs over. No contract of lack survives in my atmosphere. I speak supply now, and it obeys without delay. Each phrase is not only for your ears, it is for the atmosphere around you. The vibration from your voice imprints on the field of reality like an unalterable law. The power of this ritual is not in speed, but in saturation. You speak until your own mind bows in agreement. You speak until there is no tremor of doubt in the tone of your voice. You speak until the air itself feels charged. Imagine, as you release these words, that they are not vanishing into space. See them as golden currents, moving outward in every direction. They find the channels that belong to you, opportunities, transactions, favor, resources, and they attach themselves like a seal. Once sealed, those channels cannot be closed by man, by market, or by misfortune. Prophecy demands manifestation. It does not knock timidly at the door of reality. It arrives as a royal command and expects to be obeyed. When you prophesy your finances, you are not waiting to see if it might work. You are speaking because you know it already exists in the invisible, and your words are pulling it forward like a rope drawing a ship to shore. If fear tries to rise during the day, do not counter it with a casual affirmation. Return to your prophecy, stand again, even if for 30 seconds, and repeat the decree with the same authority as the morning. This is not redundancy, it is reinforcement. The prophets of old did not speak because they were certain of the conditions. They spoke because they were certain of the law, and that law remains unchanged. What is bound in heaven is bound on earth, and what is loosed in heaven is loosed on earth. Your prophecy looses wealth into the currents of your life and binds lack from entering your gates. Some will feel the shift the very first day. The atmosphere will thicken with possibility. Others may not see the outer shift immediately, but the invisible has already been altered. The walls of delay are already cracking. The gates of supply are already swinging open. Do not measure your prophecy by the size of today's evidence. Measure it by the certainty with which it leaves your lips. If you speak from the Christ mind, there is no contest, there is no pleading, there is only creation. As you continue, your mouth will stop being the place where fear negotiates. It will become the throne where truth rules, and when truth rules your tongue, lack loses its citizenship in your life. This is not a seasonal practice. This is not a 7-day test. This is the permanent posture of those who walk with God in financial dominion. So rise tomorrow with the certainty of a king. Stand before your mirror or in your sacred space, and let your first words command the day, command the channels, command the resources. Let your voice be the law they follow. For once you have spoken in the prophetic, you do not return to common speech. You have stepped into the language of the kingdom, and in this language, wealth is not requested, it is enforced. We now move to the final seal of this journey. The transformation that ensures the wealth you have spoken is not only received but held, multiplied, and carried into every season of your life. Now we stand at the final gate. Every teaching, every reframe, every declaration has led you here. This is the moment where your words are no longer experiments. They are no longer things you try. They are the permanent voice of your new life. A covenant is not casual. It is a binding agreement between your spirit and the source of all supply. Once spoken, it is etched in the unseen and witnessed by the realm that answers every word you release. Today, we seal such a covenant. I invite you now to rise. Place your hand over your heart. Feel its rhythm. This is the pulse of your life. And from this day forward, your words will match its eternal beat of abundance. Stand with your feet grounded, your shoulders steady, your gaze forward as if you are looking into the horizon of your wealth-filled future. Take a breath, slow and deep, letting the air fill every corner of your being. Now, repeat after me, not as an echo, but as a decree. My mouth multiplies, never measures. I speak as one already supplied. It is done, it is sealed, it is law. Let the weight of those words settle in you. Feel how they rise from the center of your being and shape the atmosphere around you. This is no ordinary moment. You have just set a guard over your tongue, and that guard will not allow lack to slip past its watch. From this day forward, your words will not wander into complaint, doubt, or fear. They will walk in straight lines of power, building roads of gold before your feet. Every sentence will carry the fragrance of faith. Every phrase will be dipped in the oil of divine supply. Close your eyes now and see it. A vision of yourself stepping into your new life. The path before you is not stone or earth, it is made of golden bricks. Each brick carries a word you have spoken in faith. With each step you take, those bricks multiply, stretching endlessly into your future. Hear the sound of those bricks forming under your feet as you speak. See the light they reflect, guiding you through seasons of plenty and seasons of planting. Know that no matter the outward weather, your road remains unbroken, shining, and secure. This covenant is not only for today. It will govern tomorrow, and the day after, and the years beyond. It will shape your decisions, your relationships, your opportunities, and your identity. You will no longer speak as one waiting to see if provision comes. You will speak as one whose provision is already here, overflowing, unstoppable. You may still hear voices in the world speak of shortage, collapse, and fear, but you will not borrow their language. You will not sign their contracts of lack. Your covenant is with the eternal law of supply, and your tongue will only agree with that law. When a moment of temptation comes, when an old phrase of defeat tries to rise, you will remember this covenant. You will hear your own voice declaring, "My mouth multiplies, never measures." You will return to your truth with swiftness, for you know that every delay in correction is a door opened to lack. To hold this covenant is to walk as a keeper of your own destiny. It is to know that the future you meet will be built by the sentences you speak today. And so, as we seal this journey, I give you one final affirmation to carry with you, not for a week, not for a month, but for as long as your breath is in you. Every word I speak plants a seed of supply, and my harvest is eternal. Say it again, aloud. Let it ring in your space. Let it write itself into your memory, until it is part of you. Now open your eyes. You are no longer the same one who began this journey. The silent saboteurs have been removed. The mirror of dominion has reflected your true wealth identity. The law of substitution has trained your mind to reject lack before it takes root. The Christ mind has shown you how to speak from abundance. Alone, the daily challenge has disciplined your mouth. The prophetic ritual has crowned your speech with authority, and now, this covenant has sealed it forever. Walk forward knowing this. Your mouth is no longer just a voice. It is a creative force. It does not wait for wealth. It builds it. It does not describe reality. It commands it. Your covenant is alive. It will speak through you when you are aware, and it will guard you when you are not. Every golden brick is already forming ahead, and every step you take will confirm what is already done. It is done. It is sealed. It is law.